Hello again, and welcome to... This is the Flashback Top 5!
So here I am, ladies and gentlemen, in the year 2017.
It's like the future.
Right.
Coming at you.
If you're still in the year 2016, A, I'm sorry
you're in the wrong place.
And B, you need to come into the future where you will find Kevin Gaussoin of ComicsOnline.com. Everything geek pop culture.
That's right.
And you will find me, Troy David Phillips, at Flashback Comics in Woodbridge, Virginia. And you will find that this is the first of 2017's Top 5 show. Now,
we do this almost every week, Troy.
Almost every week we do a Top 5 show. I talk about stuff that you should have already been reading, and Kevin talks about the 5 things that he is most looking forward to, as if he could narrow it down to 5. It's hard, because Kevin gets as many comics as he does, but... yeah, if it wasn't for Kevin, I wouldn't know half as much about comics as I do.
He's making stuff up sometimes, but I tell you what, he does know a lot of things. He doesn't know that because that's weird, but he does know a lot of things about comics. And if you come in here to Flashback Comics here in Woodbridge, Virginia, just outside the Washington, D.C. metro area, just on the southern fringe down I-95 if you're not from around here. But it's not far out, and it's totally worth the trip because this store is wonderful. Troy has got a lot of backstock, and even more importantly, he's got a lot of knowledge to help you get stuff for your collection, and to point out things that you might like that are ongoing, and to point out things for gifts for your loved ones. So come on in here to Flashback. But we do this every week, or just about every week.
Just about every week.
And we do top 5, and just as Troy said, I'm going to show you my top 5 comics for this week. This is top 5 comics for Wednesday, the 4th of January, 2017.
2017.
Troy, guess what?
So before we go that far, I just want to say 2016 is over. 2016 was not the best year for a great many people, maybe on a personal level, maybe on a greater pop culture level. 2016 is over now. We're going to enter into 2017 with positive thoughts, positive outlooks. We are going to make 2017 a great year.
Troy, I may have spent too much money on things that were not comic books.
Well, I'm going to help you with that.
So, this
first and foremost,
comics are an investment, ladies and gentlemen, as you know. This week, my first pick, as is every week that it's out, The Walking Dead. Here we've got the ongoing Art Adams cover with Negan finally on it, and this is issue 162, and we're still at the tail end of the Whisperer War here. And this has been a wonderful comic since I started reading it, which was like issue 20 or something like that. So unfortunately, I missed a few of the early ones, but I do have the first Negan, so that's good.
I gotta say, for those of you who have not been reading The Walking Dead, and I get this question pretty frequently, and you probably do too, people that are friends of yours that watch the show, they see the trade paperback collections or the hardcover collection or the compendiums, and they're like, well, how close is the comic to the show? Actually, not very close.
It's better. It's honestly better. The show's good.
Well, if you start season 1 and you start issue 1, they're very, very similar. And many things in the comic you see in the show. We do meet Michonne. We do meet the governor. We go to the suburbs. We go to the farm. We go to the prison. But the order of events are very different. The show gives you Daryl Dixon, the comic does not. Different characters get hurt differently. Different characters come to different resolutions in their relationships. So, yeah.
And they have different personalities, frankly.
The comic is beautifully illustrated by Mr. Adlaird. It's wonderfully written by Mr. Kirkman. It's fantastic. So if you've not been checking out The Walking Dead, it is possible actually to begin at the beginning by picking up the trade paperback compilations. The trade paperbacks will take you from volume 1 to volume 26, deep into the series, and make it easy to pick up the new issues off the wall and stay on a monthly basis with The Walking Dead.
And here's the thing with the comics that you know how those of you who are fans of the show, if you're watching the show, sometimes you've got an episode that's like, oh my god, this is so boring. This it was like lame, or oh my god, this is so oppressive. You know, Negan is just really and I feel so bad this whole time. Well, number one, the issues are shorter, but beyond that, it's something like you don't really get that. You've got maybe 2 or 3 issues at the end of the prison that in my opinion were kind of weak, but beyond that, they're not weak. You've got one great thing after another, and even the quieter episodes are excellent character builders.
I can't disagree with that assessment. So if you've thought about picking up The Walking Dead, again, you can get into the trade paperbacks. If you used to be into The Walking Dead and fell off of it, it's a great time to pick it back up. But there are definitely ways to help you get the whole story in case you don't want to invest $2,000 in a number 1 and $500 in a number 19 with the first Michonne, and on and on and on. There are ways for you, the casual fan, to continue to enjoy on a casual level.
For real.
Yes, indeed.
So, Walking Dead every month. 162 issues. But if you are an investor and you want to invest, these things, tend to appreciate. This is a very collectible industry, as I say. And, if you come in here and say, Troy, you know what? I realize it's a pricey investment, but I would like some of those old ones. Can you get me a good deal on some? And, here's my budget, and he will help you out and get you the best deal for yourself.
Yes, indeed. Usually the first question I ask is, are you Kevin Gaussoin? And if you're not, well, Walking Dead...
How can you afford it? That's what he'll say, because he pretends that I have money. I spend all my money here, apparently. And
yeah.
Costco, but that's another story. Anyway.
Moving on to second pick for 2017.
Hey, it's 2017. America, ladies and gentlemen, America. I saw this cover and I was like, "Oh my god!" See, I haven't been reading a whole lot of previews lately. Sorry, Josh, but I haven't. And so, who is drawing this? I like it. Medina. All right. I'm liking the art. I'm liking the cover. I have no idea what's going on. It sounds ridiculous in our new world order as we're about to enter in later this month. It's frightening me, but this is at least
to help catch you up.
Comic book, so I can feel better.
To help catch you up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S.Avengers is a series that follows on the heels of the New Avengers. Now, last year's New Avengers series focused on a team of Avengers led by Roberto da Costa. Roberto da Costa had taken over a faction of AIM and had turned AIM into the avenging idea mechanics. So he took a villain team and made them not villainous. Now, New Avengers ended.
I'm on board with that plan.
And there was a whole story arc there, which I'd be happy to go through with you at a later point in time. But what's important is this picks up the next phase for Roberto da Costa's reimagined AIM and his team, his sidekicks, his partners, his Confederates. So if you have not been following the book, it is, in fact, a good place to jump in because it's issue number 1.
Issue number 1.
If you've been following all along, you need to pick this up to keep that chain going.
It's nicely got intros to each of these characters, which I appreciate because I didn't know who the heck this person was. This new Iron Avenger or whatever she's called. What is she called? Iron Patriot? Something?
Way to drop spoilers, Kev.
Well, she's on the cover, Troy. With the purple hair.
Oh.
All right. Anyway.
All right.
And then Squirrel Girl and Red Hulk and a bunch of other people. Don't worry. You'll be happy. Hey, you know what? I've read things, Troy. One of those things was the Unworthy Thor, and honestly, I thought it was going to be I'm going to get this first issue and then I'm going to drop it because whatever. But I loved the first 2 issues, and here's issue 3, and I'm excited to read it. Thor, OG Thor. Rather than the other Thor. If I say it too many times, it's going to hurt my tongue, and then I'll be Thor.
That's terrible.
And Beta Ray Bill.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Thor, Odin's son, is no longer worthy to wield the hammer. The hammer is in the hands of Jane Foster.
We still don't know what was said to him to make him unworthy suddenly.
However, Thor is on an epic mission, an epic quest, and alongside of him is his hammer brother, Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill wields the hammer Stormbreaker. Now, Bill and Thor have a very tight, close bond, even though they've spent a great deal of time adventuring in their separate corners. Because they have each been worthy to wield Mjolnir, they are very closely tied together. Bill is here to help Thor along in his quest. And we have also seen the Axe Yarnborn. We have seen the Hammer of the Ultimates universe.
Right.
Yes.
I figured that's what it was, but nobody quite said it as yet. But it seems like that must have been it.
I said it. I said it out
when
loud.
I saw it, I was like, "Is that what they're trying to say?"
And yeah, that's what I said. So if you've not picked this book up, if you've been following Jane Foster's adventures in The Mighty Thor, but not picking up Unworthy Thor is what's been going on with Thor Odin's son when you haven't seen him in the pages of Uncanny Avengers.
As I call it, the depressing Thor versus the OG Thor, which is I like the OG Thor. Sorry, ladies, but she's depressing. She is. Oh, hey, you know what else I like? The OG Nova is back in the pages of Nova. But you know what? Sam Alexander's still here. Don't worry about it, kids, because the kid is still here, so don't sweat it. But we've got we've got Richard Rider. Don't call him by his nickname. That's impolite. But
Kid Nova?
Right. Yeah, we've got Richard Rider back in the story again. And attention, comic collectors, it is critical that you pay attention at this time. It's friggin' good. I'm loving it. They could have easily disappointed me, and they have not. I really enjoyed the what was it, mid-aughts Nova. What was it, 2007, 2008, 2009-ish, that era. And this...
I'm nodding my head like people could see me behind the book.
Yeah, he's nodding.
Yeah.
Nodding. That's around then. Anyway, solid book, made me really love the character, and that was around the same time as Guardians of the Galaxy returned strongly and gave us that assemblage of characters that we got in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And they were kind of flying around the same space, if you will. But again, really loving this character and really loving the relationship between the two Novas, and I really hope they continue to rebuild the Nova Corps once again.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to get some good stuff out of this with having both Sam and Richard Rider. There's no reason why both characters can't peaceably coexist, or even not peaceably coexist. They're going to coexist. It's going to happen.
Yep, loving it. So, Troy, one of the things that I was disappointed in over the past weekend was Action Comics. But you know what? Hey, Superman sounds good. And Superman, I saw this cover and I'm like, look at all this Elseworld stuff. I'm an easy mark when it comes to alternate universe stories. And so with this cover, I'm like, oh, look at all these different Supermen and women. I'm into it. Let's do this. So Superman number 14 in the Multiplicity Part 1. The other cover shows some standard-ish Superman holding the
Superman Red Sun.
The Red Sun, in the classic dead Supergirl pose. And so...
Now, see, Kevin here was disappointed with Action Comics, but I have to say that Action Comics has had the Trial of Lex Luthor story arc where a group of aliens have taken Lex Luthor to their planet to say, hey, we have looked into the future and we have seen that you are going to be the death of a tremendous number of people and we're going to hold you accountable for that. And so now Clark is at a crisis of conscience.
And we just read Civil War II and we're through with that.
We're going to talk about Civil War II in a minute.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Oh, no. I thought we were done with that.
Before we get there, no. Before we get there.
So Tom Cruise has these three people in tanks. Never mind.
Bam. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, actually, I think it is very, very worth it if you're a fan of Superman and the Superman franchise to pick up both Superman and Action Comics. Also, check out New Superman, check out Superwoman, check out Supergirl. The Superman family of titles is building something not so interlocked that you have to read every single thing together, but they're each an interesting story arc unto themselves.
Troy, and being as though I said that I wasn't thrilled with Action Comics, let me say that I did read Detective Comics, and I did read, and I realize these aren't Superman titles, but
These
Batman
are Batman.
titles. But I read Detective Comics, loved it, and I read All-Star Batman, also loved it. And so I can't wait to get back into those, and I should really stop buying comics. And I'm just buying too many, Troy. It's all your fault.
You know what, Kevin? It's not my fault that you get 225 comics a month.
All right.
Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, for what you should have been picking up?
I'm going to cancel Fallen Angels, Troy.
So 1989. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Inhumans versus X-Men #1. This is the Black Bolt variant. Why did I pick the Black Bolt variant for Inhumans versus X-Men #1? Because Black Bolt came out in comics in January 1966. I was born January 1966. Black Bolt and I have a special kinship. Black Bolt, former king of the
Nobody
Inhumans.
wants to hear either of you talk?
Because we destroy cities when we speak. Black Bolt, former king of the Inhumans. The Inhumans and the X-Men are at each other's throats, and it's all over the Terrigen Mist, which was released over the planet way back in the pages of the miniseries Infinity. You remember that,
They should have
right?
hired Roberto da Costa, and then it could have been and then the Terrigen would have aimed.
But I think, that was good. Almost too soon, but that was
You're
funny.
welcome.
And Roberto is suffering exposure to Terrigen Mist like a great many mutants are. It's responsible for the Mpox. The Terrigen that gives Inhumans their powers is toxic to mutants. It's causing mutants to die painfully. So that's what this conflict is all about. The Inhumans don't want to see the death of the mutants. They don't want to hurt anybody else.
Fox.
But they don't want to see the source of their power taken away either. So
Fox.
that is what IVX is all about. You need to be into that. Next
is there a
up,
shot you can get for this? I don't know. IVX? I don't know. Captain, this is a beautiful cover. I like this cover.
this is Civil War II #8, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this did not come out this week. This came out the previous week. And I'm sorry, Civil War II #8. This brings the conflict to a conclusion. This shows you the final fight. Tony Stark in the Iron Man armor versus Carol Danvers, a.k.a. Captain Marvel. And it resolves the story beautifully. It brings the battle between the two icons to, I'd say, a good reasonable conclusion. There are some talking points in here. Some of the battle is actual battle. Some of the battle is philosophical. You do get to see a resolution and an advancement, of the character Ulysses. You do get to see what actually happens to Tony Stark, and we're moving forward from there. Civil War II #8. If you didn't pick it up, you need to.
Troy, what's this? What is this? Titan Comics?
Oh my God!
What do they
Titan
make?
Comics.
Anything?
Yeah, actually, all them Doctor Who's
Besides
that
Doctor
you
Who
love.
that I buy,
And all them
so many of.
Assassin's Creeds. Penny Dreadful, Dark Souls, Sherlock, Rivers of London,
And now,
Hookjaw, ladies and gentlemen, Hookjaw. Okay, so what happens in this story? Well, you have marine biologists studying shark behavior. You have pirates off the coast of Somalia. You have a team of Navy SEALs come to fight the pirates. And you have a pack of great white sharks and their alpha male leader who has a harpoon stuck in his mouth. He is the titular character, the Hookjaw. This book is so good. I love shark stories. I love stories based on sharks. I love both Peter Benchley's Jaws novels and beyond. So if that sounds like something that appeals to you, this is the book you need to pick up. And yes, there are sharks, people get attacked, people get et. It happens.
That's what I'm seeing in this. Oh, look at that. I'm not going to show you the last page, but there's carnage. There's carnage.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, and not Cletus Cassidy.
Not that terrible one. Yeah. All right. Hey, tell me, Troy. Is I have heard that this is good recently.
Wait.
What? Where are we going?
This
on
one first. Oh, sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Suicide Squad number 8, the prelude to the Justice League versus Suicide Squad, and this is Justice League versus Suicide Squad issue number 2. Sorry, I skipped over issue 1. What's important here is that the storyline from Suicide Squad leading into the conflict with the Justice League, focused around Amanda Waller and yet one more of her gigs, opened this thing up.
Jim Lee cover.
Wait.
Where?
Right here. This is going to be a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, but I am... Yeah, this is beautiful stuff.
All right, I'll hold the middle.
So... This, ladies and gentlemen, is the poster that was in the middle of the books from that week, and this shows you the characters that are the central villains of the Justice League versus Suicide Squad. Several of these villains you will recognize, several of them you might not. But they are all characters who have history in the DC universe. So, yeah, there's Lobo, and yeah, there's Emerald Empress, and yeah, there's Johnny Sorrow, and yeah, there's Eclipso, and more. You need to be checking this out. This book is so good.
And this is old 90s Lobo.
Right. If you like that sort of thing. I'm a big fan, personally, of Omega Man Lobo, but, that's me. So, Justice League versus Suicide Squad. We are so far up to issue 2. We have tie-ins to the Suicide Squad series and the Justice League series.
There's a splash page for you.
There's a splash page for you, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Look for Killer Frost to be a difference maker in the battle in a way you might not have expected.
Just as long as she quits arguing with Barry on Tuesdays.
That doesn't happen here.
Oh.
So that was my top 5. This is my plus 1. Okay, we were talking a little earlier about Nova, Richard Rider's Nova, that Kevin loves so much, and me too. I have all 25 issues of Nova's 1970s Bronze Age series. This is a complete set of Ronan from the Annihilation series. You may or may not remember Annihilus and the Annihilation Wave and the Annihilation storyline that ran through Ronan, the Super Skrull, Nova, and the Silver Surfer. Well, this is the Ronan series that comes out of that. Ronan the Accuser, you may remember him from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Ronan the Accuser first appeared in Fantastic Four 65. Supreme Accuser of the Kree, instrumental in the Kree-Skrull War, very important character. Longtime nemesis of Mar-Vell.
I liked him better when he had that pie store. Never mind, that was the actor.
Bang. So, Ronan, at this point in time, this is a character who is actually more animically heroic to his Kree people. And eventually, this version of Ronan would marry Crystal of the Inhumans. That marriage has come to an end. Sorry for the spoiler.
Johnny Storm's girlfriend, what?
Yeah, really. So, if you hadn't checked out the pieces of the Annihilation storyline, but you're interested in the greater cosmic community, I strenuously recommend picking up Ronan, picking up Super Skrull, picking up Nova, picking up Silver Surfer, picking up Annihilation, and then going forward into Annihilation Conquest.
This seems like kind of a light. You've only got 4 short boxes here that I went through anyway of the main books that you got in this week.
Well, this is the week that comes after the holiday.
But that's true. But it's like, there were so many good things out this week.
Yes,
and it was hard to pick. There were so many good things. I accidentally got into the new Star Trek ongoing. I meant to buy the anthology's title, but I bought the other one, and oh my gosh, it's good. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to buy. Come in here and Troy will set you up with whatever you like.
I will help you out with that. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2017. Thank you for welcoming us into your computers or your cell phones or your iPads or whatever your devices are.
And if you made it this far, we're sorry, and we thank you. See you next time.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.
Hope we do. Oh my God, Kevin, it's 2017. And
I read a lot of comics, Troy, and I'll get into that with my picks.
oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello again, and welcome to Troy's house.
Yes, ladies and
Whose
gentlemen.
house?
Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house.
It looks just like his house.